What's up, Notjust developers? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna learn about 5 ways you can monetize your application so you can start earning money doing the things you love. This video is sponsored by RevenueCat, but more on that later in the video. And without further ado, let's jump into it. The easiest way to monetize your application is to charge a one-time payment before the user downloads the application. This can easily be done on Apple Store and also on Google Play Market just by setting the price of your application. However, the biggest disadvantage of this method is that you put a very high wall in front of your user and you are trying to sell before showing the actual value that your application can provide to the user. Without showing this value first, it's gonna be hard to sell to a new user your application. Another approach that I saw working for some companies is deploying 2 separate applications to the markets, one for free and one the pro paid version. This solves the issue that I was mentioning before. However, there is a better way to approach the same scenario with a single application that will cover both the free version and the paid version of your app. Here I'm talking about the freemium model, which is an alternative to the paid model. With freemium applications, you allow users to download the application for free. You give them access to almost all the features or only to a set of features. And after that, you charge the users while they are using the application for specific features or items in your application. One of the ways to monetize your freemium application is to provide digital goods to the users. These digital goods that the user can buy in exchange of real money, these are called in-app purchases. This model works amazingly good in a lot of applications and also in a lot of games, especially in games that you can have virtual coins or you can have some items, collectibles, upgrades, levels, gems, and so on. A good example of a company making a killing using in-app purchases is actually the game Pokemon Go that most of you probably know. Users can buy premium items in the shop in exchange of Poke Coins, and you can either collect these Poke Coins in the game or you can buy them for real money. And actually, in the first 2 years after the deployment of Pokemon Go, they made more than $2 billion just for in-app purchases. So you can understand how huge of an opportunity in-app purchases are for your application. If in-app purchases are done correctly, they will even improve the user experience for your application because you will provide extra features, extra benefits for pro users. Another monetization strategy for freemium application is the subscription model. Subscription model is quite similar to in-app purchases. However, the only difference is the way you pay. With subscription, you pay based on a period of time, for example, weeks, months, or years, and you always have to renew your subscription in order to keep using the pro features of the application. The most common use case for subscription application is to provide extra features and extra benefits for subscribers, for the paying users, in order to incentivize them subscribing and paying monthly your subscription fee. A good example that as well a lot of people know is the subscription on Tinder, where you get the Tinder Plus. I don't have it, but as far as my research says, with Tinder Plus you can have like super likes or whatever you can do there extra in comparison if you're using the free version of Tinder. What I love about the subscription model is that it gives you a stable and predictable monthly income, and yeah, like you don't have like spikes in your revenue, and every month you're gonna receive and you're gonna know how much revenue you're gonna get by the end of a month. The only concern that I have with this model is that it requires a really great product. It requires a lot of investment in your application to provide something actually unique and valuable to the user so that they will actually buy your subscription. In a lot of situations this is quite hard and this is the hardest part, but once you have this application that people are ready to give you money in order to use, then you have a great use case to implement subscription and to start monetizing it right away. From a more technical perspective, to implement subscription and also in-app purchases, you would have to integrate with the platform that you're using to distribute your application. For example, on Android, you'd have to set up this subscription and in-app purchases on Google Play, and for iOS users, you'd have to do that on App Store. This is very important, and this is actually the rule in order to be accepted on this platform, because it is their business model. So Google Play and Apple will keep a percentage of your whole monthly revenue, and usually this is from 15 to 30%. This is a lot, I know, but actually this is their business model, and we need to pay for their services and for the fact that they are helping us distribute our application to the whole world. So to add a subscription or in-app purchases to your application, first things first, you will have to create and set them up on the Play Store and on the Apple Store. You will set their price there. If it's a subscription, you'll set if it's monthly, weekly, annually, and so on. And after that, you will have to get the SDK for Apple and also for Google Play and integrate with the SDK in your application to create this subscription, fetch the subscription, and check the user status if it's subscribed or not. Integrating with these SDKs, it's quite primitive and challenging. You'd have to go through a lot of documentation to understand properly how to set it up on one platform and then the same things for the other platform. And the bad part about integrating it yourself directly with the markets, especially for cross-platform application like React Native and Flutter, is that you would have to integrate with both in the same application. This leads to a lot of edge cases and a lot of problems that we developers have to manage. For example, if a user bought your subscription or in-app purchase from Android, from Google Play Store, and after 1 month he switches to iOS, what will you do? Will you give them the same access? How will you manage the accounts and merging two different sources of payments, Apple and Play Store, into one single source of truth? As you can see, this is quite challenging and it's very error prone. But when it comes to finances and money, one small error can lead to the loss of a lot of revenue. Lucky for us developers, when there is a problem, there is a solution as well. And here the solution is RevenueCat. RevenueCat is making the whole process of managing in-app purchases and subscription, managing your user data, and growing your recurring revenue on iOS, Android, and also web super easy. Yes, RevenueCat is sponsoring today's video, but they didn't ask me to tell anything. So yeah, like from my experience, I had a really great developer experience with RevenueCat, and I've been using them even before I started this channel. I first integrated RevenueCat in my startup, in my previous startup Fitinium, and with the help of RevenueCat, we actually started monetizing our application in a couple of days. In comparison of building it ourselves, that would take us a couple of months. Instead of integrating the subscription and payments for two different platforms, App Store and Play Store, I simply integrated with RevenueCat my application. The documentation is really great and it made it really simple to integrate. It's actually a couple of calls to some functions to check if a user is subscribed or if a user has access to an item, and after that you can do all your logic in your code. Everything else is magically managed by RevenueCat behind the scenes, and this gives us developers more time to focus on building actually valuable features that the user will want to pay for. What I like about RevenueCat is that it provides a single source of truth about our customer purchase data across all the platforms that we are distributing our application. It also is very good at analytics and providing deep understanding of revenue, customer conversions, churns, and other important metrics that you should track when you are building a subscription model application. RevenueCat has a free plan for your application, and it includes most of the features that I described here, and it also has a pro plan that gives you possibility to integrate with other solutions, with other services, and gives you insight into more of the customer data. And the good part is that they do not charge a base fee. However, they charge based on your monthly income. They take a very small percentage. So while you'll be testing your application and you'll not have a lot of users, you will pay almost nothing to RevenueCat, even if you are on the pro plan. plan. For more information about RevenueCat, check out the link in the description below, create your free account and start monetizing your application. If you are interested in learning how to integrate React Native with RevenueCat, check out this full in-depth tutorial. Thank you very much to RevenueCat for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to our methods that we can use to monetize our application. And the next monetization strategy that is very popular in mobile development is running ads in your application. Over the last decades, digital advertisement became a very hot market, and there is a lot of money flowing into digital advertisement. What is very beneficial for us mobile developers is that around 75% of the whole advertisement budget is spent on mobile advertisement. Just think about this, not websites, but actually mobile applications. The year 2021 saw over $295 billion going to mobile advertisement. Put this into perspective, think about this, and maybe you can start monetizing your application with ads as well. Integrating ads in your application is quite easy using some ads providers, like for example Google AdMob, and to do that you simply integrate with their SDK, and after that they will automatically pick and choose and show the necessary advertisement specifically targeted to the user that is using your application. Based on your application, there are multiple types of ads that you can choose from to run in your application. For example, there are banner ads that will show a simple banner on top of your application somewhere on the bottom. There are interstitial, I think I pronounced it correctly, ads, and these ads will be displayed on full screen, and usually you would integrate these types of ads after an important flow in your application. Like, I don't know, in games that would be finishing a level, in a mobile application as well, doing a specific event in your application. As you can imagine, these ads can be a bit annoying to the users, and they can degrade the user experience of your application. Another approach would be to implement native ads. And native ads are the ads that will fit in to your design and your content type. And when you scroll, for example, a feed, you would think that this is a normal post in the application, but actually it's a sponsored post. Very good examples of this probably are Instagram, and when you scroll through the feed, from time to time there is a post that you check, and after that you just see there a tag sponsored. So these are native advertisements. One very powerful type of ads are the rewards ad, and they are working very well in games, and the game developer offers some benefits or some coins or doubling the amount of something in exchange of watching that advertisement. Actually, this is working very well in our applications as well. I just remember about Duolingo, and if you're on free version on Duolingo, after you finish a level, you will be asked to watch a video in exchange of doubling your points. As you can see, there are different types and use cases for this advertisement, but the best way it would be to combine them in a way that you will not degrade the user experience and at the same time maximize your revenue. The good thing about this type of monetization is that it's quite easy to set up. You just have to create an account and integrate an SDK. On the other hand, the bad sides of this method, one that is very important is that your application needs to have a lot of users and a lot of traffic in order to generate significant revenue. You will be paid by the impression, and for example, for 1,000 impression, depending on the type of advertisement, you'll be paid differently, but the range would be from $1 to $10, or in very rare cases like $15 to $20. So as you can see, to generate significant revenue with this model alone, you will need a lot of users using very often your application. Another disadvantage of this method is that you impact the user experience, and by showing a lot of advertisement, the users will become pissed off and they might leave your application just for this reason. There are smart ways to take this disadvantage and combining with another subscription model, make it into an advantage. And for example, provide the free version of your application using advertisement, and you'll generate money from this side, and provide a subscription-based model for your users where they will subscribe to your application, and after they they subscribe, they will not see any advertisement. So you have a win-win of both methods. Another very interesting monetization strategy that you might consider is sponsorships and partnerships. This strategy is good for niche applications where you are targeting a very specific target audience or a very specific group of people. And in that case, you might want to approach companies that are doing something in that niche, in that industry, with a goal to get a sponsorship or a partnership. For example, let's say you're building an application that will display all farmers in your local area where you can buy fresh products from. You can approach some of these farmers and say that in exchange of a monthly fee of, I don't know, a couple of $100 or $1,000, you will place them on top of a list when people are looking for farmers. Having a couple of these farmers paying you a couple of $100 or $1,000 per month to be shown on the top will generate a significant amount of revenue for your application, even though your application is used by like 1,000 or a couple of thousand of users every month. This is possible just because this group of people are very niche and are very valuable for a specific company. With the same application, if you try to monetize it with advertisement, you'll make a couple of dollars per month that will not even cover your monthly costs to support your application. So if you are building a niche application, you might consider this approach as well. In conclusion, I can say that there are a lot of methods to monetize your application, and your goal is first to build an application that the user will love, the user will want to use every day, and after that the monetization part is the easiest part, and as you can see there are a lot of options. The best approach I can recommend you is not to limit yourself only to one monetization strategy, and if possible implement a couple of them to work together in a way that one of advantage will cover the other method's disadvantage, same way as I explained you with combining subscription with advertisement. You can become creative here and do a lot of things in order to provide a better experience to the users and also to make some money doing the things you love. That was it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this type of video where we talk not specifically about development but more about the business side of building application, then please let me know down below and we might do more of this in the future. Thanks again RevenueCat for sponsoring this video, and I will see you next time.